Hello and welcome everyone to Glen Ira Sports and Aquatic Centre for your round 16 BigV Championship Women matchup. My name is Daniel Giancino. Got Ryan Potter here with me alongside. Ryan, ready to go today. A little bit cold here in Melbourne, but we're raring to go here at GSAC.
Just like every Sunday, happy to be here, Shorty. I'm raring to go. We're a little bit delayed on our start due to some technical issues. However, we are good to go now, ready to rock and roll.
You're getting ready to go. It's McKinnon Cougars 9th on the ladder versus Camberwell 10th. Not exactly playing for gold medals here today, but the Cougar pride is definitely on the line. As
Correct.
We've got Camberwell in the gold uniforms heading to your left of screen, and the Cougars in the away blue. Nice contrast of colours here to your right of screen. As Camberwell get the opening tip, Rachel Smith tries to get him going real early on the drive, but denied by Lex Davis.
And Lex Davis cleaning up. As Amy Patton takes it too. I was just going to say, Lex Davis, who's been cleaning up the boards all season long, starts her account off. But Amy Patton, that mid-range specialist, here we go.
It's great to have her back. She's missed a handful of games this year with a hip injury. But, yeah, she's come back. It looks like she hasn't missed a beat, mate.
Integral to this team, integral to their success.
He's got a straightaway three from the wing. Fagan, no good. Rebound pulled down by Lee Wilkins. Bit of tangle under the rim with Lauren Moran.
Jump ball and McKinnon basketball.
Go the way of the Cougars. Camberwell no game last night. The Cougars, however, did have to venture down to Pakenham. Lost in a close one by 5. 73-68 in that one down there, as we see Maltezos, the baseline drive. Kick out to Amy Patton. She's also got a baseline drive with the left, tries finishing with the right. Lex Davis doing everything she can to keep it alive, but Fagan comes away with it.
Fagan looking to push here.
Deflected. Stays with Smith. Smith also in the Youth League Women matchup last night, who unfortunately I believe got knocked out of the finals for the Youth 1 Women. Amy Patton comes away with it, feeds to Maltezos. Maltezos on the drive, floater is good.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that's Maltezos' game, looking to attack downhill. Will pop that three where she can, but very dangerous getting inside the key.
Real quick crossover to get in there, as we see Smith on the wing now. Thinking about the three, defers to Varlos. Looking to find Moran in the post. They enter pick and roll action on this wing.
Great wall up from Maltezos.
Another rebound from Lex Davis.
This could be a day for her, Shorty. This could be her day to pull down 20 rebounds. Camberwell has some size, but Lex is an absolute beast inside. It'll be exciting to see how her game goes. It's a nice little right-hand hook. Can't quite get it to go. Smith taking it up the court.
Right on cue, Lex Davis looking like a focal point of this offense. Cassie Hill takes that one away, feeds to Amy Patton. Right-hand layup.
Oh, can't quite get it to go.
Got every bit of the rim, but couldn't finish it. Comes away with it in the end.
And again, Lee Wilkins just playing her absolute heart out. Gets that offensive rebound for McKinnon.
Thinking about the three was Cassie Hill. They eventually find Lex Davis in the short corner. Shot clock winding down, no good, and Alani Voss pulls down the rebound.
Like you said, Shorty, obviously a focal point for McKinnon to get that ball inside. It'll be interesting to see. As Fife has a nice little pull-up jumper. It'll be interesting to see how McKinnon can utilise their inside presence.
We'll see how we go. Lex Davis was obviously a big out for this Cougars offense. The 4th in the league in rebounding at 11 and a bit a game. Was definitely missed over that stretch as Lee Wilkins fires away the three, which was no good.
Fagan looking to run. Well done for Cassie Hill getting back. And it will be Camberwell ball from the baseline as we get some Camberwell players checking into the game.
So Lenny Patton going to check in, the youngster, just 16 years of age, checking in for this champ women game here today. And Victoria Sumskis also checking in for the Dragons. Kicked all the way out to Fagan, middle pick and roll. Feeds back outside to Scott. Back to Smith. Finds the youngster, Lenny Patton. Puts the moves on Lee Wilkins. 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
Nice dime. Hello, Lenny Patton.
Really nice find inside. Camberwell tie this one up at 4 apiece.
Just shows age has nothing to do with it. You've got the skill, you deserve to be here.
You see Kate Bazzacchini getting ready to check in for the Cougars. Came down with a nasty ankle injury last week, but recovered, ready to go for this weekend.
Just a deflection out of bounds. Good action and movement from the Dragons as Kate Bazzacchini checks in for Cassie Hill.
Now, the Camberwell bench only with 3 players on it. A key out for them is Emily Whitehouse. Looks to be in a moon boot, lower left leg injury. So she'll be sorely missed for the Dragons here today.
It's McKinnon, shot clock 1 down. Kate Bazzacchini throws it up. Can't quite get it. Lee almost, but rebound for the Dragons. They go running.
Smith atop the 3. Defers to Scott. Wing pick and roll. Empty corner. Davis takes that one away, and the Cougars go the other end.
Just impressive from Lex to always be in the right spot there. Making her presence known on the defensive end and hopefully on the offense. Good pass out. Lee, triple. That'll be very, very important for Lee. She's going to get herself cooking with this game. Cougars up 7-4.
Very good for Lee Wilkins. 27% three-point shooter this year, but three-point rating is up over 50%.
Another deflection from Lex Davis. She is being the focal point of this defense right now, allowing McKinnon to run.
It's all over just about every possession the Cougars have right now. Maltezos lets it go from the same spot as Wilkins, and she gets that to go. 33% on the season from 3 is Maltezos at just over 6 attempts a game.
This is the exact start that McKinnon needed. A nice fast start to get themselves all into their pockets. Looking to go.
Lenny Patton finds Smith on the roll. Lefty layup, no good. Cleaned up again by Davis.
Looking to run Maltezos, that same spot. Let's see if she can do again.
Pull up 3.
Quiet. Amy Patton tracks that one down.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bazzacchini finds Davis on the low block. Bank shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Smith.
Camberwell looking to go downhill. We can see their intent. Transition is their preferred offense. Well done from M. Maltezos. Now Kate Bazzacchini's running.
Maltezos saw a lane, then saw a pull-up jumper. Gets that one to go from the elbow. Maltezos quickly up to 7 points now in this one on 75% shooting.
Yeah, she's so important to this McKinnon offense. Definitely a focal point. If they can't get inside to Lex Davis, they want to be getting on the outside to Maltezos.
Well, you said it. She leads this team in scoring at 14.5 points per game. Also an assist at 3. As Sumkus pulls down the offensive rebound, tries to go back at it. Lex Davis pulls down her 4th rebound of the night already.
Off running again. Amy Patton to Lee.
Lee Wilkins, 2nd 3 of the night. No
Can't quite get it.
Smith pulls this one down. Lenny Patton on the push now.
Great pass again.
Very nice kick ahead. Offensive rebound pulled down by Rachel Smith, and she gets that one to go.
McKinnon leading it 12-6 with 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
Bit of up and down already here today.
Yeah, no whistle for the last little bit, so we're seeing some tired bodies here. Obviously both teams with limited subs, so it's going to be tired throughout the game.
Shot clock down to 7 now. Bazzacchini trapped on the wing. Maltezos tries to get inside the paint. Poor spacing here for the Cougars as Lee Wilkins gets the 3 away, and the defensive rebound pulled down by Fagan. She's on the push now. Finds it in the hands of Smith. Now the youngster, Lenny Patton. Float game is good.
Don't mind if I do. Says, I don't want to go inside the key. Lex Davis is there. I'll just shoot it from the outside, shorty.
Geez, a real spark off the bench she's been today already.
Yeah,
finding her teammates open, getting to the float game. Lex Davis goes head-to-head with Sumskis. Kick out for Maltezos. The 3, no good, a little bit long. Bazzacchini on the rebound. Cougars get to reset here. Finds a way into the key. How good's that?
Just can't quite get the bunny, but great intent there from M. Maltezos.
Patton chooses to slow this one down. Scott on the wing now. Empty ball screen with Smith. Fakes out Maltezos. Gets to the rim, but no good on that occasion.
That goes down as a block, shorty.
Count it down. Lee Wilkins finds Lex Davis. Early seal.
Well done. And again, this is an up and down game. This whistle hasn't been blown for about 5 minutes here, shorty. I'm getting tired.
Just the one foul called in this quarter so far. Tick over 90 seconds left to play, and both teams have had subs sitting at the bench for a few minutes now. As Lenny Patton thought about the three off the bounce, picked away by Maltezos, and taken back
hustle.
by Smith.
Well done from both teams, keeping it clean out there. And there it is. Second foul call. We'll be shooting 2.
Eventually get a whistle, and it's going to be Fagan heading to the line for 2 shots here. And platoon subs for both teams. We see Fife, Moran, and Valos checking back in for Camberwell. It's going to be Lex Davis and Lee Wilkins taking their first rest of the night. And for their first minutes in the Cougars uniforms are Chloe Hicks and Youth League star Romy Price, who had a rippery game last night in the Youth Women qualifying final against Albury-Wodonga. Managed a good, comfortable little 18 points, 5 rebounds.
If you don't mind.
In 16 minutes, mind you, on 9 of 11 shooting.
Very efficient, Romy Price. We also see Maddie Simmons has checked in for her first minutes of the game.
And right on cue, picks up a deflection, goes right at it with the left hand. And now all over Fagan on the D board, picks her up in the full court.
And I've said it before, I'll say it again, Shorty. It's what you get with Maddie Simmons. She absolutely just 100% going at the basketball when she's on the court. It's great to see.
Absolute hustler.
Good hands from Bazancini. And it's going to go through the McKinnon way.
It was Scott that was trying to find Sumskas down low. Couldn't get it. And my apologies, Moran's only just checked it into the game, and she's going to give Fagan a rest here. 14 plays 9. The Cougars up by 5. 47 seconds left to play in this one. Hicks has ball handling duties. Maddie Simmons does her best penguin impression.
I was going to say, I believe we're in the Summer Olympics, not curling here, Shorty, and we don't send people down the lane. We send a little bowl.
As someone who's played basketball the most of her life, she's probably doing that so she does not pick up any carpet burn or court burn, if you will.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, I'll tell you that much.
Well, as someone who's never hustled on a basketball court, I can tell you, I wouldn't know. It's Kate Bazaccini, the lefty hook, no good. Rebound picked up by Voss, and she's got the push now. As we mentioned, Voss a focal part of this Camberwell offense. As Scott on the drive, and she's fouled by Price in the process. Lani Voss averaging 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists on the season. Leads Camberwell in all 3 major statistical categories. Now, after 1 foul in a total of 8.5 minutes, in about a minute we've had 3 fouls called.
Just the way of the game, isn't it, sometimes, Shorty?
Yep, sometimes just happens that way. And Zoe Scott at the line, just a 33.3% free throw shooter.
Whacked both, though.
And
who cares about percentages? They literally mean nothing.
Commentary curse is not with us today.
There's no point.
As the Cougars breeze through the Camberwell press and find Maddie Simmons for the layup and blew the bunny, unfortunately. Now we go the other way.
Good to see McKinnon breaking that press early, though. Camberwell staying that. We'll get plenty of opportunities throughout the game.
Did so very easily, but they give Camberwell the last shot of the quarter here.
Great defense, way to wall up, hands up. But a foul with 1.1 seconds left on the clock.
Fife was looking for a foul earlier on that drive, didn't get it, but happened on the rebound eventually and the putback. 1.1 seconds left, 2 shots. Gemma Fife at the line, 47% free throw shooter.
Again, screw your percentages.
Gets the first one to go, no problem at all. Second free throw is good. Commentary curse is dead. And that'll do us for the first quarter. Maltezos holds on to that one. And Camberwell have brought the deficit back to 1. It's 14, plays 13 here at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre. Daniel Giancino, Ryan Potter with you here. Maltezos leads all scorers for McKinnon with 7. Scott and Fife have 4 apiece for the Camberwell Dragons. And Gemma Fife Smith not far behind with 2 points of her own, 4 rebounds for her.
It's a good start for Smith. I think it's interesting. McKinnon been attacking, but obviously with those that long period of no-call basketball, McKinnon had yet to be to the foul line, where Camberwell is 5 or 6 from the line. So it's going to be interesting to see how McKinnon adjusts to that, whether they keep trying to be physical inside, but they've got to make sure they're not fouling because that's been one of Camberwell's best avenues of scoring to start this game.
Well, the Cougars already -5 in the rebound count, and last time they met in round 12, it was the Camberwell Dragons getting their first win of the season against the Cougars, 75-54, and it was in that contest that the Cougars went down in the rebound count by 21, and probably due to the fact there was 21 offensive rebounds by the Dragons. Alex Davis didn't play in that matchup, but Maltezos had herself 12 points, 5 of 17. Couldn't buy a bucket from outside and 0 of 7 in that one. Robbie Price also shined in that one off the bench, 6 points, 7 rebounds and 3 blocks, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
And Tamara Gear wasn't long back after she had her first child and played in that game and had herself 10 and 9 with 4 offensive rebounds.
Beautiful.
Camberwell did get the W in that one. Alani Voss had herself 19, 11 and 5. And Georgia Fagan a double-double with 11 and 12. And Emily Whitehouse, the one that they're missing today, had herself 13 points, 3 of 4 from outside as we get ready to get going again in the second quarter here. And Alice Humble checked in for her first minutes in this one. Chloe Hicks out on the floor with Maddie Simmons, Amy Patton and Romy Price to inbound here. A quick give and go. Maddie Simmons tries to find a dunker there and dunked someone on the head under the rim. I think that's Laura Moran, unfortunately. And it's going to be 21 seconds still on the shot clock. McKinnon Cougars baseline out of bounds.
Be interesting to see how McKinnon's able to keep their scoring going. Obviously, M. Suckling not on court today. Unfortunately, had a hand injury that's going to keep her out for the rest of the season. So
Correct.
That's a massive avenue of scoring that McKinnon has lost. So it'll be interesting to see how they can find these. As Alice Humble has an attempt from 3 and knocks it down. It's a great way to start the quarter and for her first minutes of the game.
Unfortunately, a long 2 there, Ryan. Not to be on this occasion. Which is a shame. Alice Humble shooting it at about 40% from 3 this season. Low frequency, not a lot of attempts, but that one there a long 2, and Sumskis almost gets dunked on the head on the roll there as Chloe Hicks takes it away, tries to find Humble in transition and does in the short corner. Reversal to Romy Price, now Maddie Simmons playing on the baseline drive.
Great kick to the corner.
Hicks, corner 3. Gets that one to go.
That's a long 2, Shorty.
It's another
Toes
long 2.
Drizzly.
It's another long 2.
Great intent, though. Great shots. Let's get those big toes behind the line.
Well, feet set, letting it fly.
Will also be a long 2.
There's another long 2. There may be a little bit of confusion with the newly painted inside line here at GSAC for the VJBL under 12 and under 14 competition. But yeah, the senior athletes not quite getting behind the big line, except Amy Patton there slings it from the top of the 3, pulled down by Alani Voss. Kicked ahead to Scott. Ball back in the hands of Voss. Moran on the wing now. Amy Patton doing her best soccer impression. Kick out to Gemma Fife in the corner.
Knocked down.
The captain, that one's for 3 outside the big girl line. 19-15 here now.
This is a good game, competitive game so far.
Hicks is in the short corner. Playing against Fife and stepped out of bounds maybe?
Travel maybe?
Some sort of violation,
Yeah.
and referee Anne-Marie has signalled it's going to be Camberwell ball. And a few subs for both teams as Maddie Simmons and Romy Price take a rest in this one, and Lex Davis and Cassie Hill coming back in for the Cougars. Taking a rest is going to be Sumskis and Fife, the captain, as well as Zoe Scott. Lenny Patton's come back in for this one.
McKinnon doing a really good job at defending their sets. It's when Camberwell, like this, get the ball inside and then it creates a little bit of problem as McKinnon collapses. They've done a great job defending there, but fantastic roll, offensive rebound for Smith, and she'll just go back up with her left hand.
Real patient on the second chances. Fagan checked back into this game as well, and yeah, found a clear avenue to the rim on the roll on that one. Gets a second chance to go, and great use of the pivots there to keep the ball alive, and Camberwell get their first lead of the matchup here.
Chloe Hicks takes it straight to the cup.
Second lead of the matchup, if you don't mind, but Chloe Hicks opens up her scoring account, gives McKinnon back the lead. It's our 4th lead change of the night.
as Maltezos looks to check back in. She's obviously a huge avenue of scoring for McKinnon, so good to see if they can start the ball rolling again as Chloe Hicks gets it. And Lex Davis has a very deep seal, but a 3-second call, Shorty.
Yeah, she was a few seconds away from paying rent this month inside the key, and unfortunately she's going to get the 3-second violation in there as McKinnon turn it over. It's going to be Camberwell ball, and Maltezos checks back into this one, giving Alice Humble a rest now.
Oh, don't you just hate when rent's due? It's the worst.
Really hate it, and it's we mentioned before on the broadcast, it is quite tough. I wouldn't know, obviously, being the short man that I am, but it would be hard to try and get a seal on your defender, think about your post move, read multiple lines of defence, and think about how many seconds you're in the key.
Yeah.
As, speaking of seconds, winding down all the way to 0 as Fagan gets that one to go off the glass. And
great kick ahead, and one for Cassie Hill. Great kick up the court from ML Tezos. That's the exact type of basketball that McKinnon wants to be playing.
That was incredible. The McKinnon Cougars doing the best wide receiver quarterback impression between Cassie Hill and ML Tezos. Hill gets a layup done on the other end. She'll go to the line for one more as Chloe Hicks checking out of this one to make space for Lee Wilkins to check back in.
Back to their starters.
Cassie Hill, 72% from the foul line this year and no issues on that one. Puts the lead back up to 2 points here for the Cougars. Ball swing, bit of flex action.
Yeah.
Find the slip in Smith. Voss on
Great
the pull-up.
there from Amy Patton.
No good. Tried to keep it alive was Moran.
Great box out from Cassie Hill. There we go. McKinnon's starting to feel themselves again. Keep the ball rolling. Let's see what we got.
Well, Valos, who leads this outfit, this Camberwell outfit in scoring, still yet to score in this one as they find Davis this time a touch outside the key that goes right at Smith.
Great take. Can't quite get it to go, though.
Couldn't get the reversal, blocked by the rim on that one. As right on cue, Valos tries to get inside the paint, taken away by Wilkins. Defensive Player of the Year nominee last year, and this club's defensive player always gets after it in the full court, hands, body, real great role model for those youngsters trying to learn how to play defense.
Yeah, exactly right. And, I mean, it would be, even though McKinnon, we've had our struggles this year, it would be absolutely ridiculous to me if she wasn't another Defensive Player of the Year nomination, Shorty. She is just electric, everything she does. As she takes it to the rim, draws a foul, and will get 2 shots.
I know it's now called X, Ryan, but retweet on all of the above. Lee
Thank
Wilkins
you very much.
Heading to the line. Both kids on the bench today, here to support Mum.
Love to see it. It's family club, McKinnon. Family club, Shorty.
Is it ever? And Lee Wilkins, 68% free throw shooter on this one, this season. Gets the first one.
Stop talking about
off
percentages,
the back
Shorty.
rim, and
You're just jinxing.
we've just welcomed back the commentary curse.
There we go.
Second one is good. Might
Back
have
on
to
track.
apologise to her after the matchup.
Better hope she gets back to the line and hits 2 more to fix that. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
I do hope so. As they get an early post catch for Smith. Valos plays off the bounce.
But Lex Davis says, no thank you, send that out of bounds, set up again.
No thanks. Lex Davis already with 3 rebounds, 2 steals and a block.
All over the place.
And just the 2 points here. Just can't quite get it going on the offensive end. Still a hell of a matchup here. It's good to see these 2 girls go at it as Fagan almost gets that circus shot to go, getting fouled out of bounds, and she's going to go to the line for 2. It's 3 fouls to nothing here in the second quarter, all the way at Camberwell. Cougars just can't keep their hands out of the moment while the Dragons are driving.
Yeah, and like you said, at quarter time, Shorty, they're starting to, the rebound count is just slowly going more and more into Camberwell's favour. McKinnon really needs to put an emphasis on that to make sure they stay in touch and don't keep giving up some second chance opportunities to them.
Absolutely, and Camberwell taking advantage of the foul line attempts. There's 7 of 8 on 88% here tonight. Only just a 3 free throws here for the Cougars so far as Maltezos wheeling and dealing inside. Finds Hill, now Davis at the elbow.
Don't mind if you do.
That Jimmer was pure.
We've just got to get her out of the key, would appear, Shorty. Just absolutely knocked down from outside the key. And that hopefully will open up her account and make her feel much more comfortable, start getting some more looks inside.
There's another long 2 here. Fagan on this one.
And Lex Davis cleaning up. All right, she's starting to cook.
Rebound number 4 there for Lex Davis. Amy Patton on the release pass now. Cassie Hill trying to find Davis there on the post touch.
Great little throw.
Does so on the roll.
Again, every part of the rim but to go down. Camberwell looking to push now.
Cannot capitalise inside on that occasion. Smith atop the 3, tries to play through Patton. Defence goes under. She attacks downhill on the left hand.
Ooh.
The hook no good on that one. And Davis might have stepped out of bounds while trying to keep that one alive. And it's going to stay Camberwell ball after the shot clock reset. 14 seconds, baseline out of bounds. Nice little screening here. Action from the Camberwell Dragons. Poked out from behind by Patton. Finds the hands of Pagan. Back to Varlos. Fouled by Patton under the rim. And she's going to go to the line for 2. Referees on a quick discussion here. Potentially discussing
unsportsmanlike
excessive contact and unsportsmanlike foul there on Amy Patton.
Talk to me about that one, Shorty. Missed it?
I missed a whole lot of it. Would have loved to seen a replay on that one, but I do believe one of the criteria for an unsportsmanlike foul, one of the categories rather, is excessive contact. So Paul Graham going to call a timeout here. Can't exactly challenge the call as we're not in the pro leagues here, but does have a few questions about it, it seems. Yeah, not a referee, but I do believe that may come under the excessive contact category there, unless there was an extra swing or something after the contest.
It's interesting. It's an interesting call. I think the fact that whenever you see refs come together, you don't think something good's going to come out of it for the most part, Shorty. You think it's always going to be maybe a discussion for an upgrade.
Sometimes they do just want to talk about it, make sure they're both on the same page, which is, I mean, as much as we can ask for our referees. But yeah, on that occasion, we may even try and get some clarification for you at some stage. For those watching at home in Australia or anywhere around the world, if you're watching your favourite imports here live on the BigV stream, which you can find on YouTube or at bigv.com.au. At the BigV website. Heaps of things happening in the BigV area right now.
We're hot. The BigV's hot right now, Shorty.
Both the open competitions season's coming to an end. The last round of BigV next weekend. The youth finals in all divisions already underway. Last night in Youth 1, Youth 2, and of course VYC. And taking the free throws here, Alani Voss for the unsportsmanlike foul.
Hits the first one. Paul Graham got his answer, was not happy about the answer that he got given, though.
Sometimes all you can do is ask a question, though, Ryan Potter. And
that's true.
As we know, referees will only answer questions. They won't respond to statements.
Correct.
As unsportsmanlike free throw done, and it'll be Camberwell's side out. Finds Fagan on the inbound. Gets it back to Smith. Wing pick and roll with Scott. Finds a nail. Good ball movement here by the Dragons. Shot clock winding down. Smith from 3.
Oh, every part of the rim.
Just about.
Good by Amy Patton.
No good on that one. It's an offensive rebound with Varlos.
As clock starts winding down again. Great defense from Maltazos, stays in front, and Lex Davis pulls down the board. McKinnon off and running.
Maltazos on the push here. Cassie Hill
Good
goes
guess.
right at Varlos and taken away. Fagan thought about the pull-up, kicks to Varlos in the corner. Can she open her scoring account? Yes, she can. Gets that 3 to go. Apologies, the account was already open from the free throw, but I'm sure she's happy to see that 3 go down.
Absolutely. Camberwell go up 1 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and a little zone, Shorty, a little 1-2-2 or a 3-2. It's Maltazos.
There must be shooters' rims here today at GSAC. Every youth basketball shot would have loosened these rims up last night.
Yeah.
And these women's players are getting every positive influence from it.
The rims are feeling loved today, to say the very least. They're getting every part of the ball.
If you're a shooter and you're at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre, shoot it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amy Patton comes away with a steal for the Cougars. Finds Cassie Hill the reversal. Two-player action with Maltezos. Finds the elbow, gets the Jimmer up. No good on that occasion.
Good crash. Cassie Hill just a little overzealous there, but great intent. As we get Maddie Simmons and Kate Bazancini checking in for Cassie Hill and Amy Patton taking a break. 2.5 minutes to go. McKinnon up 2.
Victoria Sumskis heading in for Camberwell and relieving Rachel Smith of her duties for the moment. As you mentioned, 2.5 minutes to go left in the half in this one. Tightly contested matchup this is. Great viewing wherever you're watching. The flex action continuing. Cross screen into a back screen here on the post touch from Sumskis. Kicked out to Scott. Lets it go for 3.
Can't quite get it.
No good. And Camberwell with another offensive rebound. They're up to 9 now in the contest. And an offensive foul on Alani Voss. Drawn by Maddie Simmons.
Like usual, just gets into the right spot.
Defensive powerhouse Maddie Simmons. Focal point of the youth women's program and first year here, promoted into the champ women's team full time and really earning her stripes here this season. On the lefty drive and right on cue.
Can't quite get to go.
Wanted the foul call, no dice on that one. And Zoe Scott pulls it away in transition for the Dragons. Back cut, Voss a little bit too much mustard on the pass and went right by Captain Gemma Fife on the back cut.
I tell you what, that Maddie Simmons drive would be great content for our social media here, Shorty.
Shout out.
Cap Hollandakis.
Fantastic.
And Manny taking some great photos and taking the imagery that you see on our social media every single week. Well done to them. It is great content, and I know that the fans love it, Shorty. They love it.
Confirmed. Comments confirmed. As Lex Davis no good on the elbow jump shot. Sumskis pulled that one down and then deferred right over to Fife. Now we find it back on the wing with Fagan. Middle drive, right at Davis. Sumskis free throw line jump shot, no good. Deflected out of bounds, and it's going to be Cougars basketball. Everyone in the building except for those in a blue jersey thought it was Camberwell ball, but the referees thought otherwise. And we're going back the way of the Cougars. Maltezos on the inbound to Simmons, and she'll get it back with just over a minute to play here.
Tight game, Shorty. Defense has actually been really good from both teams. Really hard as Kate Bazancini. It's a little pull-up jumper from the short corner, if you don't mind.
A little bit of razzle-dazzle to find that one on the pull-up. Got her feet set and no problem at all. As stretches the lead back out to 4, and Camberwell hope it doesn't balloon out any further than this. As 5.
Oh my goodness.
It is shooter's roll here at GSAC this afternoon.
Incredible
shooter's
scene.
roll. If you're a shooter, shoot it. Gemma Fife must have heard me and let that one go for 3.
Oh, lovely little hesitation.
Great hezzy. Maddie Simmons thought about the 3.
Can't quite get it, but good hustle.
Goes the underhand layup instead, and no good on that occasion. As Alani Voss tries to push it, looking for the early 2-for-1 as they get it eventually. Short on the rim. And it's Fagan pulling down another offensive rebound of hers.
Fagan's 6 rebounds, and I'd guess to say at least half of them been offensive. She's been all over those rebounds.
Maybe a little early on that second chance shot attempt for Camberwell, and give McKinnon another shot at it, almost, but dribbled out of bounds off a leg of some sort. And 1 second left on the clock. Camberwell looking for a touchdown pass to take the lead here going into half-time. No touchdown, just a handoff, and not even a first down, and we're going to go into half-time. So,
beautiful.
32 plays 31 here. It's either contested game here at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre for your round 16 BigV Championship women matchup between the McKinnon Cougars and the Camberwell Dragons. Daniel Gianchino, Ryan Potter here with you today, and we'll see you very shortly after the break. Hello and welcome back. We are getting ready to get started here for the second half of this matchup between Camberwell Dragons and McKinnon Cougars at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre for your round 16 BigV Championship Women action. It's Daniel Giancino here. Hello and welcome to you. And Ryan Potter also alongside me. Ryan, what do you make of the first half of this matchup?
Yeah, really back and forth. Neither team could, as we have a little phone call going on our speaker system. Incredible scenes. Anyway, interesting to see that neither team could quite get more than 2 to 4 points, maybe 6 points ahead. McKinnon had that little run at the start that got them to around 6 points ahead, but it's continued to fight back and fight back and fight back. It's going to be whichever team can get their defensive stops, but then keep their scoring consistent. A 6-point lead in this type of game is a massive lead.
Well, 8 total lead changes already in this one, and still somehow the Cougars completely in control with 8 lead changes. Camberwell only holding that lead for a total of 27 seconds.
Yeah, incredible.
Would you believe it? But it's actually insane. But our statistical leaders in this one, you've got Emily Maltezos for the Cougars, who has herself 10 points, including 2 or 4 from outside. Lex Davis just the 4 points tonight, but also has 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. I keep saying tonight, but we're in the middle of the day here in Melbourne. It's 12:56. Lex Davis just a 2 of 8 from the field at the moment. Can't quite get herself going, but the Cougars 9 steals as a team for 12 Camberwell turnovers. But in the realm of Camberwell, it's Gemma Fife with 10 points, 3 of 5 shooting, including 2 of 2 from outside. And Ilani Voss, just the 4 points of 1 of 4 shooting here tonight as she starts this quarter off with a jump shot, which was no good. She's also got the 6 rebounds to go along with that. And speaking of rebounds, it's Camberwell Dragons out-rebounding the Cougars by 14 in this one. And we mentioned in their last matchup they out-rebounded the Cougars by 21 in their first win of the season as they go straight to Lex Davis down low. First one no good, second one no good, and Rachel Smith comes away with it.
Yeah, it'll be really, really important for McKinnon. Obviously need to keep Maltezos cooking as an offensive foul from Moran. Lee Wilkins did a great job fighting over the top, forced Moran to take a big step into her, cause the block.
Maybe just the hook on that one. And speaking of fouls, we did get some clarity from our referees during the halftime break that it was excessive contact. So
points to you, Shorty.
Commentators 1 of 1 today.
Well done.
In those foul calls. So there was a initial foul and then there was a holding excessive grab afterwards, which upgraded it from a regular foul to an unsportsmanlike foul. So props to referee Anne-Marie for explaining that one to our viewers here today. As we've got Camberwell's second foul for the quarter in less than 50 seconds here. And Cougars side out ball. Maltezos. Hesitation dribble all the way to the rim but couldn't get the bunny.
Great take. Great take. The intense there from Maltezos. She has to do that for the rest of the game.
Captain Gemma Fife couldn't find the rim on that one and pulled up by Zoe Scott. Tangled up with Cassie Hill, and very physical, both teams coming out of the change rooms here. So we've had 3 fouls called in a minute and 5 seconds in this one, but you love to see the physicality both groups playing with.
Yeah, and you can tell, although we're 9th and 10th of the ladder, these games still mean so much to them, Shorty. We're playing for pride. We're making sure we're holding our culture proper. And it's a great take from Fife to the rim there. That takes her point tally up to 12 and becomes the leading scorer for the game. These games still mean so much to these two clubs. This will be physical to the end.
Was an athlete and a competitor. There's probably no game you roll in and go, we don't really care. But Amy Patton gets to the elbow and gets her Pattenton jumper on that one.
Good, Shorty, good. And again,
I'm here all day.
Camberwell took the lead for about 10 seconds there, and then McKinnon's taken it straight back.
Been a common theme of today is the shot clock back down at 7 seconds here. Fife on the wing, thought about the pull-up, defers to Barlos and just no good. Maybe set her teammate up for failure there with the late clock shuffle as Lex Davis almost coughs it up. Patton, another step back from the elbow, wanted the foul on that one, but no call there, and we've got a jump ball under the rim as the ball rolls into the crowd of your McKinnon juniors under the baseline, showing some incredible support here for their senior women.
Yeah, the the support that the juniors show to both men's, women's, youth league teams is amazing. We have to give them a shout out because they come in, week out. There's never a lack of juniors here to support our teams. It's fantastic to see. Cassie Hill takes a massive offensive rebound. Amy Patton gets herself inside the key. Looking go to work.
Shot clock back down to 5 seconds now. Maltezos, middle pick and roll game with Hill.
Beautiful hesitation.
And eventually fouled by Zoe Scott on that drive, and she's going to go to the line for 2. That's the 3rd foul of the quarter for Camberwell, in just a tick over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they want to be careful here so they don't get into the bonus either at all or not too early on in this one.
Yeah, and Zoe Scott asking the question of the refs of why that was a foul, but Maltezos just drew her in with a nice little hesitation, so shifted her body and then took the space back. Maltezos went into that body, encroaching into her space. Good call by the ref. Very smart from Maltezos.
Very good on that right-hand hesitation is Maltezos. She gets that second free throw to go and balloons the lead out to just 3 here. Small balloon it is. Just a children's party. And Alani Voss trying to get the ball into Rachel Smith, and there's a foul on the floor here.
No, we're going foot violation.
Foot violation. Kickball.
Not playing footy?
No, not today.
Later on.
Perhaps. And Chloe Hicks going to come back into this one. For Lee Wilkins, going to take a rest here. Camberwell ball, 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Took about 4 seconds to get it in. Finds Rachel Smith eventually. Defers to the captain. Looking to play on this wing close to the commentary box. Smith putting the moves on Davis. Couldn't do it in the end.
Top.
Davis worries her right out of it and pulls down the rebound. Maltezos on the push and great speed there. Lex Davis on the rim run. Finds Hicks. Extra to Cassie Hill. Thought about the 3. No good on the drive. Davis tries to keep it alive, and it's going to go Camberwell ball. Still the 3-point game here.
Yeah, like I said earlier, this is definitely a defensive game. It's not that the shot making or the shot takes have been bad, but the defense has been there and in their face the entire time. So it's really going to be a grind. This is going to be a low-scoring affair, but it's going to be a defensive masterclass from both teams, keeping themselves taking bad shots.
Lex Davis picks up the foul on the Rachel Smith offensive rebound and put-back attempt, and we were never really expecting this to be a high-scoring affair. Both teams ranked 9th and 10th in points per game in the league in this one. But closely contested, 2 very similar groups match up very well together. It does look like a defensive game today. It's just going to be who can put together as many stops as they can, scores on the other end, it seems.
Yeah, and in Camberwell's case, it's going to be, can they have that last second shot, because they take a lead and McKinnon usually takes it right back. So for Camberwell, it's going to be about getting that lead and trying to maintain it. For McKinnon, it's just going to be out keeping this small separation, trying to build it out, because the 10-point lead is Lex Davis goes for a little up and down.
Finally gets one of her patented post moves to go, and great footwork there under the rim by Lex Davis.
That lead to 5 points, 2-possession game now. There's a miss from Fife and a rebound from McKinnon. Maltezos off to the races. Don't mind if you do a little hesitation up top, but swatted away from Scott.
Almost got it in the end. That hesi again as Varlos tries to put the moves on Hill. Kick out to Smith. Now Fagan on the drive.
And one. Foul going to be on Cassie Hill on a block. Stepping up just a touch late, perhaps. Felt like she was in a pretty good spot.
She's going to take a rest here, as does Lex Davis. And Kate Bazzacchini, Alice Humble checking back in for the Cougars. No changes as of yet for the Dragons this quarter. Extra free throw is good by Fagan. Lead back to 3 now for the Cougars. Ball handling duties here for Maltezos. As always, Humble looks at the back cut with Hicks. No good.
Defense.
So, back to Hicks atop the 3. Eventually finds Humble, who fumbled it. Smith away with it. Kick ahead to Varlos. All the way to the rim and gets fouled.
Turn up the heat.
By Alice Humble. And she's going to go to the line for the extra score here. It's now 3 fouls apiece. One more for each team to play with, then they're in the bonus. And this free throw here to bring it back to a 1-point lead for the Cougars.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Cougars, their offense has gotten a little bit stagnant. It's pass, it's hold, it's watch, and then make a decision, and it's end up having to be straight line drives into bodies as we miss a free throw, and McKinnon off and running. It's McKinnon needs to really make sure that they're still running some offense so they get some quality open looks. Like this is a great drive from Alice Humble, gets herself in a great spot, and step up a bit late from Scott. There'll be 2 shots. Consistency from the ref. We like that call.
That's their fourth personal. The next one going to put them into the bonus, and we've got a timeout. McKinnon coach Paul Graham wants to talk this over, and it's a tie ball game here. We will have 2 foul shots for the Cougars down this end for Alice Humble.
Yeah.
What do we think this timeout is for, Ryan?
Yeah, I think just like we were just talking about, I think this is Paul Graham's way of just going, all right, we need to make sure we're running some sets. It's not just one person attacking downhill into help spots. So probably just reaffirming to the girls, if you don't have transition, then we need to be getting in some type of flow so that they're able to find high-quality looks underneath the rim or open threes rather than having to really bash and grind themselves into the key and then hard contested shots, because that's not the way that they're going to win this game. They're going to win this game by good open shots around the rim and open threes.
And that spacing is really important, though. Hopefully they can fix that and make good decisions for each other, and shot selection also going to help their D-trans. But as we mentioned, the Cougars had to venture down to Pakenham last night. Couldn't come away with a win. Were down as many as 20, but brought it back to a 5-point loss. And Lex Davis in her first game back in action last night. In 30 minutes, she had 13 points and 16 rebounds, if you don't mind. Lee Wilkins also shared that with 13 points, and Maltezos with 12. Was only 1 of 7 from outside. The Cougars only made 3 3-point field goals last night, and they've already got as many here today, 4 of 10 at 40%.
As Alice Humble goes to the line after this timeout, makes the first. Can't quite get the second, but Amy Patton, great job underneath the rim, going jump ball. It'll be Camberwell Dragons basketball. McKinnon have that 1-point lead. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And I'm glad I didn't say it before the free throw attempt. Alice Humble shoots a free throw this season at 50%.
Oh, right down the middle, Shorty. Well done. Oh, as Maltezos picked the pocket.
Takes it away.
Thank you, Fagan. I will take that. Gets a little shove there, but refs say play on.
Three-point attempt, no good from Varlos. Amy Patton picks it up. Go down the other end, Maltezos finds it, and Bazzacchini down low now. Kick out to Humble, this time for 3.
Oh, if you don't mind these rims, Shorty.
The shooter's roll. If you were watching the broadcast and wondering where to aim on the rims,
anywhere.
Here at Glenora Sports and Aquatic Centre, aim at the front of the rim, it'll then hit the back of the rim or the backboard and eventually bounce in. And we've got another turnover here. Gemma Fife, the unfortunate beneficiary of that one, and they turn it over on the alleged post feed that they tried to find. And
this is the great type of momentum that McKinnon want. They need to keep capitalising here. If they can stretch this out to 10 points, all right, that would be fantastic. We haven't had a 10-point lead in this game as of yet.
And probably that momentum that Paul Graham was after with that timeout. And with that last turnover, as Alice Humble lets that one go for 3, which is no good. That last turnover for Camberwell was turnover number 15 on the game already. The Cougars only with 4 tonight. Fife getting all the way inside, right at Bazzacchini. And she's going to go to the line for 2. Kate caught on the hands foul on that one, and 2 shots coming here for Camberwell. Not before we get some substitutions here. Lauren Moran and Victoria Sumskis heading in for Rachel Smith and Alani Valos.
Yeah, it was a great drive from Fife. Knew that her team was starting to lose a bit of momentum, so getting herself into the key and then drawing a foul is a great way to wrestle some momentum back as she hits the first.
For sure. And we must have missed when Lenny Patton snuck back into this game.
Yes.
She may just be the smallest player on the court, but she is really impressing today coming off the bench. She's on 1 of 2 shooting, but really making some good decisions off the bounce for her teammates. She's the youngster.
And again, we talk about this a lot, Shorty, but we love to see progression throughout a program. She will be a Camberwell junior who's come in to play basketball. Women's program is Maltezos. Takes a little bump, gets herself to the rim, and one.
Caught it on the 3, drove with the right hand, took a quick stop at Hesitation Station and goes all the way to the rim for the 2 points on that one.
And it's just that simple offense, that movement is opening up a little bit of a gap as Romy Price checks in for Amy Patton. But it's a simple game sometimes, Shorty. Get a little bit of movement, the gaps open up, and you'll get your good players at basketball. They'll go score it.
You're not wrong there, Ryan. Emily Maltezos here at the line for the extra. Gets that one to go. 67% from the foul line this season, but no problems here tonight.
That puts her up to 17 points for the game. She's been a scoring juggernaut here for McKinnon.
It's middle ball screen action here. Fife and Sumskis finds Patton in the corner. Sees 2 Cougars on the drive, and Camberwell look to move this around. 2
and
deflections.
Then from Bazancini. But throws up a little prayer as the shot clock is winding down, and it goes.
Great smarts from Fagan to get the shot away there before the shot clock expired, and brings a lead back to 5 now for the Cougars. Humble here on the drive, stops, turns.
Lovely from Humble.
Righty Cook, thanks for coming.
Yep.
Alice Humble's up to 9 points here.
Yeah, really important contributor. She was deserving the minutes that she's getting right now. She's been a fantastic spark for the McKinnon as Romy gets a great defensive rebound, and Chloe Hicks is off to the races.
2 on 2, and Hicks turns on the jets.
Pass.
Finds Humble under the rim.
And there you go, lead up to 9 points. In a game like this, this is huge from McKinnon. They're one more stop. See this momentum stay with them.
Biggest lead of the night here for the Cougars. Not quite the double digits you were after just yet, Ryan, but 9 points. It is, as Lenny Patton does her best to try and bring that back to 7. No good. Cougars come up with it. It's another 2 on 2 break here. Maltezos Schuster slow it down. Finds Bazzacchini on the rim run.
And there
Lefty hook is good, and we're going to have a timeout. Camberwell Dragons.
And that is, there you go. We're now 11 points from McKinnon, and it's just been from getting good stops on defense, letting that open up their offense, and then playing good transition basketball, finding the gaps from there, throwing the ball inside. Good lanes to the rim, good 3-point shots. This is McKinnon basketball.
So, on that note then, what is it that head coach of the Camberwell Dragons, Cara Jeffers, is going to be talking about with her team? Is it just a timeout to stem the run here, stop the bleeding, or is there some issues that need to be addressed here?
Definitely a timeout just to stem the bleeding and make sure that they don't let McKinnon keep blowing this out. There's nothing that they're doing wrong necessarily, I'd say, but they're just opening up too many gaps, and then offensively they're finding it really, really hard to get looks of their own. So I think just like Paul Graham did earlier in the quarter, drawing up some plays, making sure they're getting the ball into their scorers' hands, and then defensively just making sure they get back to taking away options from McKinnon, so it makes it a lot harder for them to get some good looks.
Well, we'll see what they can do in the last 2 minutes here. We do know basketball is a game of runs, and the Cougars here are to run themselves, and now the Dragons hoping they can do the same. But a few things going the way of the Cougars this year. They're this game, there's +5 now in the rebounds this quarter on the Dragons, who led them by 15 at the half, and have forced the Dragons into a fair few turnovers so far. 15 for the game, 3 so far this quarter, and it's just stemming those offensive rebounds for the Dragons that I think the Cougars have done this quarter. Stayed away from the second chance points as Lenny Patton has the ball handling duties here for the the Dragons, to get them going here. And they find Smith on the elbow catch. Back pick. Patton. Smith. Almost had Patton on the pop. They eventually find Lauren Moran under the rim. Couldn't get the bunny to go, and it's going to stay Camberwell ball. 14 seconds left on the shot clock here for Camberwell under their basket.
Yeah, good
Maddie
intent.
Simmons checking back in for this one, Chloe Hicks. Sorry, Ryan.
Good intent from Camberwell coming out of the timeout, and obviously a clear understanding that they want to try to post up Maltezos. They're going to try to get a switch and then get her some looks against her inside the paint, feeling they've got an advantage there. As McKinnon throw a turnover, a rare one for them today. Lenny Patton goes running.
You're right, just turnover number 5 here for the Cougars. Just not quite on the same page offensively there as
right. Step through, can't get it. From 3, Shorty, this ball can go in from anywhere, but from inside the paint, they are struggling, both teams, to get those simple ones to go down.
I've already told everyone the cheat code.
Lovely back cut.
You just got to put it on the front of the rim. Romy Price on the shot fake goes right at Smith.
Great
and
take.
Gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. And we can only hope that the athletes have the AirPods in on their benches and they can hear us talk about where to put the ball. It's front of the rim, hits the back of the rim, then the backboard, and then it will eventually go in. We've seen it happen at least 6 times today.
Yeah. And that move that we just saw from Romy is one of the reasons why she's one of the best players in the Youth League competition. That rip through to her dominant left hand, and it's either going in or she's getting fouled. Great job by the McKinnon Jr. Well, once McKinnon Jr., who's now being incredible in the senior program.
Just goes 2-2 on the line there. Done a lot of work on a shot this season and really seen the fruits of her labour here. Patton looking to push the offense here for the Dragons. Moran ends up with it on the wing. Trying to find some action here to go to and get on the same page. Varlos, step back 3. No good on that occasion. Humble pulls down the defensive rebound.
Didn't hit the front of the rim, Shorty.
Nope. Lead is up to 13 now for the Cougars.
Oh, Maltezos.
That Patton in all sorts.
Hello.
Pivots around.
Opening up a very, very important lead. We're up to 15 points now. This is the exact opposite of what the Camberwell coach would have wanted coming out of that timeout. But McKinnon keep extending, keep finding great looks. As Romy gets a little hand to it. Late in the shot clock. Moran on the wing. Looking to get something going. Great cut. But again, Price with the hands. Humble. 8 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what McKinnon can produce.
It's great defensive activity there. About 4 or 5 deflections on the play. Humble. Half a second left.
Oh,
I did hit the front of the rim, but maybe just front left.
Yeah, just front left.
Maybe just front left. But a hell of a quarter there for the Cougars. 57 plays 42 in that third quarter. Both teams ended up in the bonus there, but it's Cougars that come out on top so far. Heading into that fourth quarter, Maltezos all the way up to 19 points here for the Cougars. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal to go along with that one. And Gemma Fife, 14 points and 2 rebounds for the Camberwell Dragons. And minus 15 in the rebounds at halftime, the Cougars. Now only minus 8.
Yep.
Has, you would suggest, a lot to do with their performance that quarter. Not allowing those second chance rebounds, those second chance points.
Absolutely. And I mean, just for McKinnon's ability to not let Camberwell creep back into the game. When it got out to 10 points, they weren't satisfied with that, and they allowed themselves to extend again. A 25-11 quarter is exactly what McKinnon needed. However, we know that Camberwell have scorers and they have people who have been contributing all over the place. McKinnon needs to, if they want to win this game, commit early, make sure that they're playing hard defense early. It's not necessarily about them scoring themselves. It's about keeping Camberwell into this little hole because Camberwell hasn't scored over 20 points in a quarter right now. So if they can keep that going, McKinnon, keep that defensive effort there, they're going to put themselves in a fantastic position to close out this game.
Well, we can only hope so, and as we mentioned, Alani Varlos, just 6 points here tonight, 2 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from outside, does average 15.5 on the season. They're obviously missing that 11 points per game, and Emily Whitehouse with the lower left leg injury. Gemma Fife, like we mentioned, doing her best to keep the Dragons alive with 14 points. Fagan, 10 points on herself with 4 of 5 from the free throw line, but she's 3 of 12 from the field.
Yeah, both teams just looking for wanting to get high quality looks, but Alice Humble off the bench in 8.5 minutes, 11 points. Been very, very efficient with a plus 12 on the game. She's one of the major reasons why McKinnon are in the lead right now, as we have just a little technical issue just to start this quarter.
We have no shot clock.
Oh, that's an issue.
As it turns out. And welcome back, Shot Clock. And welcome back, everyone, to the fourth quarter of this matchup. Wilkins, quick fumble here to start. Patton, kick out to Simmons. Thought about the three. Great D and great closeout by Moran. Forces up a tough one for Simmons, and Moran goes the other way.
Camberwell really need to have a fast start here, get some pressure on the ring or some open threes. And that's exactly what they want to be doing, is get M. Maltezos into the paint. M did a great job fighting over the top, but maybe just a little bit overzealous with the grab just there. But it's very, very clear what Camberwell want to be doing. A bit of inside basketball with a mismatch, and then they'll go play from there.
Same again, little screen in, screen out action. Everywhere you see that on the internet, I believe they call it America's play. Just another thing that they've...
Good hands from Amy Patton, and Lee Wilkins goes running. It's a 1-on-2, but making good decisions. Maltezos leaves it a little short, but great hustle from Lee.
I hope there's an assistant coach starting deflections here, because the McKinnon Cougars would be off the charts today. Just the active hands, and for the most part, without fouling.
Absolutely.
Got a
landing space.
Late foul. 2 shots. Took the landing space, was it, Ryan?
Little push from Maltezos as she gets her 3rd foul. Needs to be a little bit careful. She doesn't want to pick up her 4th too early here. But yeah, like we're saying, the intent is clear. Attack the rim, attack the mismatch that they feel like they have, and they should get some good looks from there. As Valos misses the first one, didn't even have to talk about percentages, Shorty.
No, and after my performance in the first half, I probably won't. But gets that second one to go as Alani Valos. She's up to 8 points now. Patton on the drive, finds the short corner, step back, no good. Davis pulls down the O board. Kick back out to Patton. 7 seconds left to play. Almost poked out of bounds, and Maltezos, 3 seconds, defers to Patton. Step back, shot clock violation. It's always a worry. It's when it gets late clock, do you put up a contested one?
Yeah.
Do you try and find a teammate? But if you do so, are you not giving them enough time to get a shot up?
Yeah, it's really important.
Jeez, I'm glad I'm not an athlete.
Yeah, well, what I usually try to teach my athletes is if there's about 8 seconds left on the clock, then it's your responsibility to go set up a screen and go get a bucket. You can go a little pocket pass for someone cutting, but you don't want to be making that pass, because then you're having to set up that whole process again of having to get a screen or having to get to attack, and you just run out of time. So, yeah, around 8 seconds, 7 seconds, Shorty, if you've got the ball in your hands, you've got to go make that decision.
I'll remember that next time I'm on a basketball court.
Little kick ball.
And we're going to go the other way. Simmons just fell over on that one.
Now, Shorty, despite McKinnon not having scored for these first 2 minutes, they've kept Camberwell to 1 point, which was really, really critical for them.
Helpful.
Making sure that they didn't get a quick little run to start this fourth quarter. This will be another minute or two of this, and Camberwell are going to start having some, almost some problems. There's Amy Patton, nice little tip, another deflection.
Deflections, someone jot it down. Zoe Scott checking back in for this one for Camberwell. Going to relieve Lauren Moran of her duties just for the moment here. 8 minutes on the dot left in this one. 16 on the shot clock here for Camberwell to play and get a shot off here. Fagan on the drive against Maltezos. Has to put one over the top and does.
But a prayer that goes in is a prayer answered.
Brings a deficit back to 12 for the Dragons.
Just within touching distance. Is there a little... it looks like a look at 2-3 from Camberwell, but with a bit of a different shape.
Good pace.
Defense from...
Great defensive effort, and I think a late foul on Maddie Simmons, unfortunately, on that one. We thought it was a good war-up.
That lower arm, Shorty, they sometimes don't call that one, but maybe they're discussing about calling it on the ground rather than on the shot.
Was it like on the shot or pushing foul? Yeah, I believe it was still in the landing period of getting that shot up. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting one when you feel like as a defensive player you've got yourself in a pretty good position. Your hand that is closest to the baseline is up, but that just little cheeky one that's still on the hip, and the refs often call that if they see any extension at all.
Yep.
You've got to get those hands off, get both walled up, make them make a tough shot over your hands.
As we have these free throws here for Fagan, now M. Maltezos is going to take a seat just quickly here. Simmons stays out on the court after that last foul, and a little bit of pressure here from the Camberwell Dragons. They broke through the press quite easy last time, and great use of the body there, making that seal under the rim and that pass easy as possible for Maddie Simmons to find her on the dime. Davis up to 8 points, 9 rebounds on the contest.
The little
half whistle?
Yeah, a little half whistle, but a good communication and keep that playing.
It might have just been a cough while the whistle was still in her mouth.
I think you might be right, Shorty.
Unfortunately, as Maddie Simmons Euro-stepped around the defense, couldn't get it to go in the end. Rachel Smith on the kick ahead to Alani Voss. Pivots, finds the rim, and Lex Davis found the rebound and then dribbled out onto the baseline. And Chloe Hicks coming back in for Maddie Simmons here. 10-point lead for the Cougars, 14 seconds on the clock for the Dragons.
Good hand from Amy Patton.
Deflections, stat them.
10-point game, 7 minutes to go here. McKinnon needs to make sure they keep that scoreboard ticking over, but more importantly, make sure that no easy scores for Camberwell in the next couple of minutes. Start making it really tough, put the screws on. And that is great defense, forcing tough passes to areas that are hard to get to. McKinnon looking to go from here.
Tried to find Varlos over the top, and full court pressure not there anymore for the Dragons. Elected to go to an extended 2-3 zone here.
It's dropped back into a man as well, so they're showing one thing, and then as soon as it crossed over half court, they jumped into their matchup.
Almost a matchup zone, if you will. It's very active as they taken away the gaps there, and Cassie Hill found just a small one, but blocked and out of bounds. 7 seconds left on the shot clock for the Cougars.
I'll be trying to get this ball into Lex right here.
I believe they're trying to, and they eventually do.
Leslie's a little short. Great rebound by Smith. That's her 11th rebound. And Camberwell looking to run.
Fagan, kick out to Varlos.
Yeah, it was a cheap one, but it was there. That's McKinnon's 4th foul with 6 minutes to go, Shorty. That is not the position you want to be in, sending them to the line for every single foul they commit from here on in. It makes it difficult, even with a lead. You have to play very, very clean from here on in.
It's not the first. It would not be the first time that we've seen a deficit get reduced here at the Cougar down at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre from either home or away teams from getting into foul trouble here in the BigV competition, as we see a 5-second violation.
I believe it was a 5-second call,
yeah. 5-second violation. Not able to get that ball in time, and Camberwell turn it over, which is their 19th turnover of the matchup, which is something they definitely don't need to eat into this double-digit deficit. As Cassie Hill thought about the three, finds Davis eventually, turn around righty hook, gets that one to go, and Davis brings up her 10th point of the night, 9 rebounds.
And each time McKinnon gets a score, as Lee wraps up the ball, well done, jump ball, and it's going McKinnon's way. I was going to say, each time that McKinnon put a little bit more scoreboard pressure on, the harder it makes it for. There's a little discussion happens between the referee and Fife, just discussing that call. Fife wanting a foul, like we said, as all players always do, think they're entitled to a foul call, but pretty good reffing, I think, there from Anne-Marie.
Well, referees always happy to talk to the captain of each team, and Gemma Fife just wanted a little bit of an explanation there about what's going on. Alice Humble tries to find Davis, but finds Wilkins on the back cut. Davis almost finds the ball herself. Tangled up with Smith on the ground. We're going to have another jump ball, and possession arrow heading the way of the Camberwell Dragons.
Great intent from the both. As Fife needs another explanation. Unhappy with how this game's been called currently, but I think the rest have been doing a pretty good job, if I'm going to be honest, Shorty. Very consistent throughout the game.
Agreed. And now our junior Cougars floor wipers getting a little bit of action here in the charge halo down the left end of the floor.
Bit of help from Cassie Hill, making sure that we've got the right side up.
Yeah, I think she's a bit too young to have used a mop before, so she probably wasn't sure which way was up.
Yeah.
But we got there in the end. Floor is clean and safe for our athletes, and we get underway here. Baseline ball, 5:23 left in this contest, and it's a 12-point lead for the Cougars. The Dragons looking to eat into that here.
Yeah, the Dragons need to find some offense and quickly. They don't want to find themselves as Humble gets another nice deflection. The Dragons don't want to find themselves as they'll get 2 shots. As I was saying, they don't want to find themselves in a position where with 2-3 minutes to go, they need to get double-digit points. They need to start eating into this now.
Well, Scott with the offensive rebound and put back, and couldn't get the 2 points there, but will go to the line for 2 as she was fouled. And that's the Cougars in the bonus now for the remainder of this 5 minutes and 7 seconds on the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it can be problematic,
and
especially with the lead.
Not helping Zoe Scott on that attempt. Misses the first one, but makes the second, gets that one to go. Maltezos' ball handling duties here. A little bit of extended pressure here by the Dragons. But Maltezos sees the gap, kick out to Hicks, extra to Cassie Hill. Finds Lex Davis down low, kick out to Humble. 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Got to go to work here. Chloe Hicks from 3, can't quite get it to go. And it will be Camberwell ball, 4 minutes and 43 seconds. McKinnon up 11, but as we said, in that foul trouble, as Lex Davis has a break and Kate Bazzancini checks in. Be only giving her a short rest, I would say, or hope, Shorty. She has been electric tonight.
Hasn't been shooting at her best, but definitely a focal point of this offense, and really makes the Camberwell defense accountable inside the paint, especially as Smith tries to find somewhere to go and finds Alani Voss. To Fagan.
Down.
Fagan step back 2, long.
Offensive rebound. Great cuts from Scott. Cassie Hill takes a big hit.
Tried to take the charge. Might have got there a little late. It's going to be a blocking foul. And in the bonus, regardless, we're going to the foul line for 2. And Cassie Hill a little slow to get up. She's a tough gal and she'll be okay.
Yeah, hitting the spot, that always hurts. Doesn't matter how well trained you are at taking a hit.
Yep.
You get hit in that spot just between your ribs, you're going to feel it.
That's sore. And score table just checking to see what's happening here, who the foul was on, and so we can get resumed back underway here. And it's Zoe Scott at the line for 2. First one is good. Second one to bring him back to single digits. And does. Zoe Scott, no issues on that trip. Pressure still extended. Tried to find the back cut. Kick ball. Stays with the Cougars. 18 left on the shot clock.
9-point game. McKinnon's scoring dried up a little bit, only 4 points in the 6 minutes of this fourth quarter. They'll be looking for Maltezos to get back into it as they go to another little matchup zone, almost a boxing one of sorts, Shorty.
It's very active, very disruptive, and like you mentioned, definitely throwing a spanner in the works here for the Cougars offense.
Absolutely. It'll be McKinnon ball with 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
The main problem here for Camberwell is that they just can't score themselves down the other end.
Correct.
Baseline ball, 14 seconds on the clock. Alice Humble with the inbounding duties here for the Cougars. Kicks out to Hill. Maltezos, another hezzy, gets all the way to the rim. Thought she was fouled, and it's going to be off the leg of a Camberwell Dragon. They'll get another 14 on the baseline.
It's a great drive by Maltezos, but not a lot of off-ball action to provide an option or an offensive rebound. Missing Lex Davis out there right now. Cassie Hill just walks into it, and we'll get the foul, and we'll go to the foul line.
It's a late foul call, but not much argument here from the Camberwell bench, and Cassie Hill going to head to the line for 2. It's Amy Patton getting ready to check back in here for the Cougars. Still no Lex Davis.
And Alice Humble checks out. Been a very, very good contributor this game. As Cassie Hill misses the first, can't quite get it to go down.
Very minimal changes here in the second half, particularly this quarter for the Dragons. Moran, Patton and Sumskis all yet to check in this quarter. Starters getting all the minutes here in the fourth.
Cassie Hill made that second one, so it's a 10-point game with 3.5 minutes to go. Camberwell going to make a move. They need to make it now.
Well, they find Smith down low, who goes right at Bazzacchini, double pump, and didn't think she did a lot wrong there. And Bazzacchini's asking the question about what happened, and hands foul, says the referee. And 2 shots here for Rachel Smith. That's 3 fouls for Kate Bazzacchini. And
yeah, it's a tough call. It felt like she got to a spot and put the hands up. Maybe a little bit of downward movement, Shorty, but not a lot in it. But as they say in the classic, Shorty, sometimes the ball just doesn't lie.
Sometimes.
And I think just in that moment, we had a ball don't lie situation. Smith makes a second, brings it back to a 9-point game, 3.5 to go.
Need to string a few stops together here, the Dragons, if they're to have any chance of bringing this one back. They're running out of time. As Cassie Hill thought about the 3, defers to Maltezos in the drops coverage here on the pick and roll. And Maltezos gets all the way to the rim, but blocked by Smith. And defers to Alani Voss, goes all the way and picked away by Bazzacchini. Kick ahead to Hicks. Floater, no good.
Pulled down off to the races, but McKinnon has some good defensive transition back.
And all of a sudden, the atmosphere picked up here.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 minutes to go, 9-point game. Good hand from Amy Patton, and then out of bounds on Smith. Great hands, great awareness. Get that stop, very important.
Well, Smith put the head down on the drive. Didn't see Fife wide open on the perimeter just behind her. And another opportunity goes missing for Camberwell.
It feels like a box and one, Shorty. I think we're box and one. As they get the turnover and look to run.
Fagan
gets it to go. Brings it to a 7-point game with 2.5 to go.
Just chipping away here are the Dragons. Amy Patton on the baseline drive, trying to find Bazzacchini, who finds Hill. Goes to work on Alani Voss. No good on the inside. Shot attempt there. Captain Gemma Fife pulls it down. Voss turns the Jets on, goes the other end. Foul by Cassie Hill in motion, and she's going to go to the line for 2. And Alani Voss has an opportunity here to bring it back to 5 points.
Robbie Price looks to check in for the foul out. Cassie Hill.
Still no Lex Davis. She does have the massage gun out on the bench. Does look a little bit sore. It is just her second game back from injury and did play the 30 minutes last night in their matchup against Pakenham. But Romy Price, more than capable at this level.
Absolutely.
The second foul shot is good.
And we're a 6-point game, Shorty. 2 to go. We've just got interesting all of a sudden.
And wherever you're joining us from, it is very interesting. We've always just had another turnover here from the Cougars. It's great to have you with us wherever you are watching. Maltezos puts the moves on Fife. Almost lost control of it. Does eventually. Smith takes it away. Fife on the push now. Scott.
Great hands from Romy Price. That's why she's out there, Shorty.
Turnover number 22 for the Camberwell Dragons. And Fife and Maltezos getting very physical here.
Couple of words. Don't mind a little chatter.
Referees needing to separate the 2 guards. Not happy.
A lot of feeling towards the end of this game.
Not happy with the physicality. It's been physical all game.
It has been. Absolutely, it has.
Especially since half-time. But now Now we're just continuing to yap away at each other here, but it's tense. It's a 6-point game. It's very close here. Athletes are going to be on their toes here as Fife pulls out a very important rebound. The righty Price. No
Stay
good
walled
for
up.
Fagan.
We've got 80 seconds left, a 6-point game, and we'll have a timeout from Camberwell to draw up a baseline set. Still have 2 timeouts. Probably the right decision. It'll be interesting to see what they draw up, whether they go for a quick 2 or looking for a 3.
Well, they'll just have the 1 timeout remaining after this one, because the user or loser timeout is gone as we're under the 2-minute mark here. Cara Jeffers hoping for head coach of the Camberwell Dragons, hoping for a little bit of whiteboard wizardry.
Absolutely.
In the baseline out-of-bounds situation. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. You've got time to use here. Do you use it, or do you just try and get a quick score off the inbound, get the full pressure up and try and turn the Cougars over?
Yeah, I think you've got to get a quick look and then you've got to get up. There's not enough time left. Yeah, there's only... if you use the whole 24 seconds, there's probably only 3 to 4 possessions left. So you've got to go get up, and especially in a 6-point game, 3 possessions, 2 to 3 possessions to score. You just don't have enough time. So you've got to start looking at get a score here, make it a 4-point game if you can well, and then you've got to get the pressure up. You can't let McKinnon score. You'd prefer to foul, stop the clock, reset, and go from there. With McKinnon, a stop here goes a long way to securing a victory. A long way. So they've got to make sure they're locked in, talking through screens, making sure they get a handout shooter, and then most importantly, Shorty, not giving up a rebound. As they're losing the count by 17, they can't afford to give up one now this late in the game.
Who do we think the ball's going here to Camberwell? Still no changes on the court. They've gone to a 4 high above the free throw line formation here. Looking maybe to get the ball to Voss, and they do. Romy Price finds her on the wing.
Great
Voss, the lefty lay in.
And here's the pressure, 4-point game. Minute 15 to go. Camberwell need to stop. McKinnon need to use the ball.
Very crafty from Alani Varlos. Romy Price, split game with Emily Maltezos. Pull up
huge.
3.
Can't quite get it to go. Minute to go, 4-point game.
Zoe Scott on the push all the way against Bazzacchini. Couldn't get the right-hand layup to go, but huge offensive rebound by Fagan. Kicks back out to Fife. Voss on the drive again. No good. Another offensive rebound.
And an unsportsmanlike foul.
Bazzacchini just sick of the contact and just inadvertently shoves Alani Varlos out of the way. And referees talking about it. They've already called an unsportsmanlike foul.
They'll stay with it.
And no further ramifications here for that one. While Varlos gets to shoot the free throw on the unsportsmanlike, Cara Jeffers gets to talk to her group now about what they're going to do on the sideline out of bounds when they do get the ball back. So bonus free throws here. So she gets the 1 for the unsportsmanlike, the 2 bonus free throws, and then they get sideline out of bounds.
We got a 2-point ball game with Camberwell going to the sideline.
2-point game, 47 seconds left, and Camberwell ball.
14-second shot clock. They find Fagan, pinned down for Zoe Scott. And they go overload on the one side, but they eventually find Varlos, who finds the captain. Step
Great
back,
defense.
long 2.
Gets it in.
Gets it to go.
Tied game here at GSAC. Coach Paul Graham wants to talk it over.
Huge shot by Captain Gemma Fife off the bounce. We're all tied up here. 35.5 seconds left, and I thought the commentary curse was dead today, Ryan, but all of a sudden we went from a double-digit lead with the Cougars here in this fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And now we're all tied up with 35.5 seconds left.
Yeah, and 18-5 last quarter so far. McKinnon just have had 0 offense, and Shorty, the rebound count is 54-34. My Lord, Camberwell have just kept themselves in this game by sheer will of force. Shorty, just making sure that they keep themselves relevant, and they've found themselves a tied game, and they will get the ball back. 35 seconds is more than enough time for multiple possessions. McKinnon really needs to get a score here because Camberwell is coming.
Grabbing every available rebound. As you said, it's 54-34 in that count and 19 offensive rebounds for the Dragons. And the Dragons still managing to tie this one up with 22 turnovers here in this game already and just the three-point field goals so far. And
when you throw 22 turnovers but you have a plus 20 in the rebound differential, Shorty, it maybe negates it a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how we go here. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, they've advanced it, which brought it down from 24 to 14. Lex Davis checked back into this one.
Maltezos for three. Can't quite get it. Patton, huge rebound. 14 on the clock. 28 to go.
Huge offensive rebound. Maltezos, that was a good look. Had her feet set in the corner.
Patton gets her spot.
Patton
puts it in.
Elbow jump shot.
Time out. Camberwell, what a shot. She said, yeah, I'd take this. I'll get to my shot and I'll bury the shot in her face.
There's not many people in the world left that go to the step back two for a potential game winner go-ahead bucket. Few that come to mind are Diana Taurasi and DeMar DeRozan. But
DeMar DeRozan is the exact one I was going to say. Add a third name to that list. Amy Patton, thank you very much.
Step back two from the elbow. Unbelievable scenes here at Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre. We hope you've tuned in and have not checked out at all. This has continued to be an exciting matchup here in round 16 of the BigV Championship Women competition between the McKinnon Cougars and the Camberwell Dragons. Camberwell Dragons doing everything they can here to try and get their second win of the season. Their first win of the season came only in round 12 against the same McKinnon Cougars right here in this venue. And it's 21 seconds left to play. Cougars basketball, they look to be advancing it here, so they'll have 14 seconds left on the shot clock. One timeout left for the Cougars, no timeout left for Camberwell. So clock management here the Cougars, very important.
And this is where Camberwell actually finds themselves in a little hole. Not having 5 fouls means they can't send them to the line. They're going to have to foul and lose more time. So it'll be interesting to see. They've got to get a stop here, McKinnon.
And conversely, if you're the Cougars, you're really trying not to foul in the bonus here as Valos gets it to go under the rim. No timeout.
Timeout called.
Late timeout called by Coach Paul Graham. And that's both coaches. No timeouts left, and Paul Graham not taking any chances here. 14.3 seconds left on the clock. Tie ball game, 64 apiece. How's your Sunday?
Shorty, for me, if I'm coaching this situation, we have to not allow Camberwell to touch the ball offensively again. So I don't care whether you've got a shot underneath the rim to get it up by 2. You do not want to give the ball back to Camberwell. The way they've been scoring this quarter, I'd be almost guaranteeing they're going to go down and get a score. You need to be drawing up a play to take some time off the clock. Maybe it's a little play to get Amy Patton a little bit more of a mismatch so she can go get to her point, but you want to be shooting this ball at around 4 seconds. You do not want to be giving up giving Camberwell the chance to get the ball back. And then Shorty on the rebound, you cannot foul. McKinnon in the bonus, which means that if they foul, they're going to walk the length of the court. So much to play here. Worst case scenario, Shorty, we go overtime. So McKinnon needs to be thinking that's it. We score or we go to overtime. Camberwell can't touch the basketball again.
Well, that's the blessing here with it being a tied game. You try and tick those boxes as you mentioned. You try and get the last shot off for this quarter. You try and any score's a win in this situation, especially if you can get to the foul line. But yeah, you do not want to give the ball back to Camberwell. And worst case scenario, we play 5 more minutes. And Amy Patton straight into Lee Wilkins. A little bit of zone here.
And as they do, take some time off the clock. We're getting the last shot here. Can Amy Patton create some magic?
They may have flipped it some matchup here, and Amy Patton tries to get to that elbow.
To Lee Wilkins for the game. Oh, cannot quite get it to get down. And Shorty, free basketball. We're going overtime.
I think there's the referees and players just a bit unsure of what's just happened here. There was no clear notification didn't pop up on anyone's phone here but we are going to overtime here. Free BigV basketball
for
BigV
you. Basketball, would love to see it. Love to see it.
Glenara Sports and Aquatic Centre, and Lee Wilkins couldn't get the corner 3 to go. It was a nice look, had her feet set, definitely the right shot. Again, not giving Camberwell any chance to get another shot off there, and 64 apiece heading into a fifth period here at GSAC.
Yeah, McKinnon giving up a 22-7 final quarter there. And it is going to be a raucous 5-minute overtime period here. With no Cassie Hill, though, fouled out. She does not get an extra one. Both teams will have one extra timeout to play with, and the fouls stay the same, Shorty. So every single foul that Camberwell draw will put them on the line for the next 5 minutes, whereas McKinnon still have a few before they get up there. It's exciting.
Correct.
Very exciting.
That is a very important point there, Mr. Ryan Potter. Going into, well, we would have been done. It's four quarters of game time here, but we're going into a fifth, and leading the way for the Cougars is still Emily Maltezos, 19 points, 2 of 7 from 3. We've also got Lex Davis, 10 points now, 10 rebounds. She's got the double-double, 5 of 14 from the field. And Alice Humble had a ripper third quarter, with 11 points, 2 of 3 from outside in that one. And Georgia Fagan, 18 points for the Camberwell Dragons, 6 of 17 and 6 of 7 from the foul line. Alani Varlos came alive late in that fourth quarter, as she always does, up to 14 points now, 9 rebounds. And Gemma Fife also doing her job as a captain, 16 points, 4 of 4 from the foul line and 4 rebounds as we get ready to get going here in overtime action. Big V Championship Women round 16 matchup between the Dragons and the Cougars. Dragons control the tip at the first possession of this overtime matchup as Fagan tries the floater, doesn't get it to go, and Davis pulls down yet another rebound. Cougars' turn to open up the account in this overtime period.
Yeah, and they're still in their sort of matchup 2-3-1. As we throw it away as Emma Tazos. You'd have to say that Camberwell probably has the momentum going into this overtime. They were the ones that were able to put the scoreboard pressure on to halt McKinnon, especially to only 7 points in that last quarter. McKinnon really going to have to dig deep here to make sure that they can come out with a victory. It's 5. Can't quite get it to drop.
No good on the pull-up, and you're right, just trying to find a way to score. Just 7 points that quarter in the fourth for the Cougars. Both teams have reached double digits in all quarters until that time, but it was a 7-22 fourth quarter.
And fouled, and that's like we talked about. That is going to be Camberwell going to shoot 2. We do not reset fouls at overtime. It just goes off what it was in the fourth quarter, and so we're walking the length of the court to the foul line. Valos will shoot 2.
And that'll be 3 fouls on Amy Patton, which they don't want to pick up anymore. It's Kate Bazzacchini who's got the 4 fouls sitting down at the moment. Cassie Hill fouled out with 5. Zoe Scott has 4 herself on the bench, but still... Zoe Scott is on the court, so 4 fouls for her. She hopes not to get fouled out.
Amy Patton just goes down the lane and scores. Shorty, the Camberwell team that tied it up, only led the game for 41 seconds in 15 lead changes. And once again,
Incredible.
They had the lead. McKinnon comes down and scores straight away. McKinnon with the 1-point lead.
And another turnover for the Dragons, brings up 23 on the matchup. Patton gets to her elbow again. Davis almost pulls down the offensive rebound.
Miscommunication between Lee Wilkins and Lex Davis.
Well, if you're the Dragons, you probably don't want Zoe Scott to foul out anytime soon, because all 3 Camberwell players, active players on the bench, there is 4 there, but without Emily Whitehouse. All 3 players on the bench there for the Camberwell Dragons have not touched the floor in over a quarter and a half. So,
yeah, they've gone with their starters. They've gone with them as Chloe Hicks gets a very important steal.
Great deflection and travelled.
And just lost it.
Almost had the pick 6 in transition and ends up in a fumble down the other end. We had touchdown Cougars imminent.
Unfortunate. But the intent's there. The pressure's on now. And Chloe Hicks, fantastic defensive player. She's going to keep making life very, very hard for Fife.
Zoe Scott dribbles the length of the floor. Thought she got fouled in transition there as Hicks take it away eventually. Patton's going to slow it up and finds Maltezos for 3.
Hey, there we go. A little bit more scoring there for the Cougars. Maltezos hitting a 3 gets her up to 22 points, and that is massive for the Cougars.
Maltezos.
And another turnover from Scott. Maltezos, great hands. A little bit of indecision there, but lucky it's gone out of bounds with McKinnon basketball from the baseline as we get our first substitution in for Camberwell in over a quarter and a half.
It's going to be Lauren Moran who's going to relieve Zoe Scott for the moment. Has not been fouled out, but she's going to take a rest and put the blanket on as it is pretty damn cold here in
very
cold. Center.
Yeah, no, Camberwell going with a little bit of a smaller lineup. They want multiple scorers on where they can. Very, very good. And we believe we just have a little bit of an issue right now with the score that may be on the wrong way. I believe it is meant to be 69-65. So we're just waiting to rectify that situation and confirm that.
Yeah, just checking with the score table officials here for the moment. But when we do resume, it'll be Amy Patton to inbound for the Cougars.
There we go. That is the correct score right there.
69 plays 65 the way of the Cougars. It's going to be Amy Patton to inbound on the baseline under their basket. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. A tick over 3 minutes left in this overtime period.
Oh, Amy Patton threw it off the back. Got it in and draws the foul. Crafty. Very crafty.
The veteran move from Amy Patton.
Pulling out all the stops here, Shorty.
You can never counter out to make a play like that one. As Amy Patton heads to the line.
Knocks down the first, makes it a 5-point game. 2.5 here to go in overtime period 1. There we go.
Just squeezes in there.
And that's why we teach them to shoot with backspin, Shorty, so they can just roll over the front of the rim. And 6-point game, 2.5 to play.
Well, you said it, Ryan. The lead up to 6 now. It's as many as it's been since almost the third quarter. Or start of the third, and multiple pivots.
Travel there from Fagan. Great job from M. Maltezos just to stay in front, not put the hands in.
Multiple pivots there, and
maybe a little slide of the back foot,
perhaps.
Shorty. It must have been.
Fagan convinced she kept her pivot foot alive on that one, but on the violation, because there was a cancelled basket, it's going to be a sideline out of ball. Amy Patton to inbound to Chloe Hicks. Chance to extend this lead past 6. Trying to find Davis inside. Eventually finds Hicks for the long 2. No good. Amy Patton, the volleyball type put back, just set it up.
Amy Patton has taken over this overtime period. She's absolutely pulling out all the stops to make sure her team comes out victorious. We got another great hand from Amy Patton. She's owning this overtime period, Shorty.
Another deflection for the Cougars. I hope someone's studying this at home.
Good hands from Amy Patton.
Another one.
Stays in the mid-range, says thank you very much. Had a wide open basket, Shorty. Says no, I'm elite from this spot.
If the mid-range is your game, shoot it. The lead is up to 10 now, and that is 28 turnovers for the Camberwell Dragons.
That is...
It's Rachel Smith looking to put the moves on Davis.
Yeah.
Fouled over the back, and Smith
will be 2 anyway.
Going to go to the line for 2. That's just Davis's second foul, so she'll remain out there for the moment.
Wow, wow, wow. It has been 11-1 in this overtime period. Majority of those points coming from Amy Patton. Brilliance.
Wow. Wow. And Amy Patton up to 14 now.
Incredibly impressive stuff.
She has 8 points here in this overtime period alone.
Stop it, Shorty.
You tell her to stop. She's the one doing it.
Incredible scenes. Incredible scenes.
Full court pressure here for the Dragons. Terror screen by Lex Davis. Caught Fagan unawares. But none of her teammates communicating to her on that one. Unfortunately, she gets whacked in transition. Lex Davis,
great
putting the
job
on multiple Dragons. Finds the cutting Lee Wilkins, and she'll go to the line for 2 as she's fouled.
And this is the type of offense that we saw from McKinnon during that third quarter that went away in the fourth, and they just said, hang on, let's just go back to what works. Throw the ball in, weak side cutters. beautiful basketball. Lee Wilkins a little bit shaken up, but looks to be okay. And we'll shoot 2. McKinnon up by 8 with 1:13 left to play in this game.
Well, speaking of shaking up, as does Fagan. Just that terror screen in transition. When you're not aware and cannot brace yourself, it definitely hurts a lot
Shorty,
more.
there is a few people I wouldn't want a terror screen from in this women's competition. Amanda Pascal won. Lex Davis tied for first in that.
Absolutely. And leaders 10 points now for the Cougars. We've seen crazier things happen as Fife, step back 3, gets up to go, it's called a long 2, so they won't get the 3 points, but Fife, absolutely, unequivocally clutch in this game so far. And I think they believe there's an issue with the clock.
Yeah, clock didn't start, so we might.
No, which is probably in Camberwell's favour, but they're just going to check.
Going to run it down.
How much should have been on the clock and then resume sideline out of bounds there.
56.5 seconds, 19 on the shot clock. McKinnon up by 8. Exciting, very exciting.
Need to get a stop here, Camberwell, but they go with the intentional foul instead. And it's going to be 2 shots as now both teams in the bonus for the remainder of this overtime. Now, Lee Wilkins, 68% foul line shooter. 1 of 2 tonight. Kids watching from the bench ever so eagerly. Mum making them proud.
As she always does. Talked about this before. Lee Wilkins is the glue that holds this team together. She is fantastic everywhere. 4 steals in this game. I'm just looking across the McKinnon stat line, Shorty. There's steals all over the place. So we're up to at least 14 steals. Probably more.
Find Voss in the corner for 3. Good. Alani Valos
just won't go away.
Clutch from 3. The lead is back to 7.
There's going to be Patton going to the line. Shorty, just to reiterate, McKinnon up to 19 steals for the game.
19 steals.
19 steals for the game.
That is a lot of steals.
Multiple steals for the game.
19 steals for the
Kira
Cougars.
Price is impressed.
For 28 Camberwell turnovers.
Wow.
And I think in a tightly contested game that it has been today, that's probably the biggest thing that's going to stick out on the box score.
Absolutely.
For the Camberwell coaching staff.
Yeah, turnovers has killed them all game. And I mean, like we talked about, as they throw the ball away, their rebounding kept them in the game, but their turnovers are going to keep them from winning this game, Shorty.
And unfortunately, they've just thrown turnover number 29. They tried to find Alani Voss on the touchdown pass. Valos on the touchdown pass and couldn't connect. She was unawares of the pass. Amy Patton has the ball here, and they're trying to foul her, but it's a very tricky thing to do nowadays is the intentional foul with the new rules, and Lex Davis gets that one to go. The lead's back out to 10, and it's 20 seconds left in this matchup. Valos pulls it from 3. Lex Davis pulls down the rebound, and you'd say we're just about done here. Maltezos dribbles it over half. 10 seconds left.
The 12-12 games for Lex Davis has been huge in a back-to-back after being injured. He's just going to dribble this one out for McKinnon. What an exciting game, Shorty. What an exciting win. Thought that McKinnon had it in the bag. The Camberwell fight back to force overtime, but McKinnon just too good in the end, scoring 18 points in the overtime.
Incredible.
18-8 to win this game by 10. Shorty, this is what we love about basketball. You never know what you're going to get, but it's almost always exciting.
We thought when it got to double digits up in that third quarter from the Cougars that they were going to run away with it, but the Camberwell Dragons stuck with it, forced an overtime matchup, but no good in the end for the Dragons. They come into the Cougar den, and the Cougars stay victorious. For the Camberwell Dragons, it was Alani Voss who got herself up to 18 points. Gemma Fife and Georgia Fagan, 18 also each. 13 rebounds for Smith, 10 for Varos, and she gets the double-double. But for the Cougars, leading the way was Emily Maltezos with 22 points, 3 of 8 from 3, including a clutch bucket, 4 steals. It was Lex Davis with 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals. Lee Wilkins doing the best she could with 8 rebounds, 8 points, and 4 steals. And a hell of a game here today.
And Shorty, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the queen of overtime herself, Amy Patton, who ended up with 15-8 and 2 steals herself. What a game of basketball we had here today.
Absolutely incredible. And it was 9 points herself of that 18 in the overtime went to Amy Patton. So incredible matchup here, and all done for your round 16 matchup of the BigV Championship women. It was the McKinnon Cougars coming away with a victory here, 82-72 against the Camberwell Dragons. It's been a pleasure having you with us here today. Daniel Giancino, Ryan Potter with you. We hope to see you either next weekend or during the finals for BigV. It's been an absolute pleasure here today, Ryan.
Go the Boomers, go the Opals.
Make sure you tune in. All the best, and we'll see you soon.